Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I am back with another Walking Dead video. This one is for The Walking Dead Season 8, leading up to the second half of The Walking Dead Season 8. This one is for what are my top 10 worst episodes, top 10 list. So, about a good week to 2 weeks ago, I did a top 10 best, characters, characters, right? And then I also did a top 10 best episodes of The Walking Dead. Well, now that I did both of those, I did top 10 best characters, top 10 best episodes. Now we're going to go over top 10 worst episodes. Worst. That's not best, that's worst. So, I hate doing this kind of thing because I hate making a video that's, worst of The Walking Dead or worst of this about The Walking Dead. Or I like to look at the show in a positive way, and I would say at least about 95% of the time I like what they do for The Walking Dead television series. But there is that 5% of the time I do kind of have to talk about some of the stuff I don't enjoy. So, I think this video is really something that I won't be doing all the time. I think just once a year should be fine. And I haven't done a worst episodes list for this year. So, I think I've done this video in the past, but we've gotten more episodes added onto the list since I did my last one, and, I will say right off the bat, something I think a lot of people will be, very happy about is that I don't have any Season 8 episodes on this list, and that is something. So, that's something I think we gotta consider as well. So, a lot of episodes on this list that I think really are something, these 10 episodes I really think shouldn't have been as bad as they were. They just ended up being that bad. Now, there are a couple honorable mentions. One I didn't enjoy was Them from Season 5. That's not on this list. I didn't enjoy that episode. I thought that episode was... But the thing is that kept it from being on the list is that it was, the writing I thought was really good. And then one more that wasn't quite making it on the list is The Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 5, which is called Chupacabra. Now, that one wasn't too bad, but again, it wasn't the best. Now, these 10 right here, I would say the first 5 from 6 to 10 aren't that bad, but... around number, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, those remaining, 4 or 5 are really not that great. So, that's a consideration as well. So, moving into this list with my number 10 is going to be The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 6, called Secrets. Now, this one, I think the big reason why I don't like this one is because there's a lot of things that I think they could have fixed, and that's mainly evolved with how much time they spent at the farm. I just felt like a half season would have been okay with the farm, and then maybe the second half of Season 2 they could have, they could have went comic route on this one, and they could have found Wiltshire Estates and stay there for a half season. And in this episode too, Andrea and Shane do go to a similar place. Why didn't they have the first half of the season, them looking for Sophia and they're at the farm, and then they do exactly what they do in the comics, where Hershel makes them leave, and then they go to Wiltshire Estates afterwards, and then that doesn't work out, and that's the end of the season. So, I felt like that would have been better. However, I still don't hate Season 2. I think Season 2 actually is one of the best seasons. However, I just think there's that odd episode every once in a while where I'm not a fan, and this was one of them. You have Lori and everything. I did like the end, though. I'll definitely say that I enjoyed the ending a lot because, Rick's reaction to Lori and Shane and also to the baby, and just that was really cool, but the rest of the episode wasn't the best. And you had some weird stuff thrown in there, like stuff that didn't really make sense, like Andrea and Shane. That just didn't make any sense to the story at all. And there was some other stuff as well. I did enjoy seeing Carl at target practice, but again, it wasn't exciting. It wasn't that kind of episode where I look back and say, wow, that was a good episode. No, I can't say that. I really just can't. So, not a terrible episode, but definitely the 10th worst. So, Coming in at number 9, another Season 2 episode. This one is going to be Cherokee Rose. This one, man. This is my least favorite of Season 2. This one was just so bad, man. It was just so bad because this one, you know, they're trying to get this zombie out of the well, and he just splits apart and the guts fall. And there's like, what, 4 other wells, you know, and they don't even stay at the farm, you know, long term anyway. And it's just so pointless. It's just such a filler episode, I feel like. The only thing that really pushes the story ahead is the Maggie and Glenn relationship. That does start in this episode. And maybe you could also say the Lori confirmed that she's pregnant. But aside from that, not really. Not too much else. So that's something as well. So not my favorite episode, that's for sure. Our first Season 7 episode from this list, number 8, is going to be The Cell. So this episode I really didn't want to put on there because I like parts of it. This is just one of those episodes from Season 7 I hated because of the fact that I hate the first half of Season 7 and what they did. Because there are some episodes I like. I like The Day Will Come When You Won't Be. That's one of the best episodes ever. I like also Service, I thought was really good. I liked episode 7 and I liked episode 8. But if you throw those out of there, if you really just look at the half season with The Well, The Cell, Go-Getters, and Swear, oh my god, those 4 episodes, you could have done something similar to what they did in episode 7, where they show a little bit of each group. Yes, the progression would be slow, but it'd be the same amount of progression if all 4 of those episodes, episode 2, 3, and then 5 and 6, were everything, you know, like you have like 10 minutes at the Sanctuary, 10 minutes at the Kingdom, 10 minutes with Terra in the Oceanside, 10 minutes at the Hilltop. You could really make what would be a good 4 episodes, you know? And you would see a little bit of each in those 4 episodes. I think that would have been great. I think Season 7, honestly, would have been a little bit more enjoyable. So, this is just one of those where they're torturing Daryl. There's not, and it's just the Sanctuary. You don't see anything else. It's just kind of like, you know, alright, that's cool. But he doesn't even end up joining the side anyway. There's not too much progression. I don't know. That's just what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this one. I'm sure a lot of people aren't either if they're big Daryl fans. So, moving in at number 7 is going to be another Season 7 episode. It's going to be episode 11. Now, this one is just on my list because of the fact that, you know, it's not the worst episode, but it's not the best either because, you know, when you look at it, Season 7 first half really wasn't the best, you know, and then you come back for the second half. Rockin' the Road, fantastic. New Best Friends, amazing. And then you get this episode right here. And it's like, I don't know, you know? And it's like, all this is basically Eugene being a coward and following Negan's rules and, you know, being Negan, basically. All he does, all this episode is a coward switching sides, plus you get Dwight who's struggling with his own story. That's it. You know, that's really it. And it's I don't know, it's not exciting. Some of the things I didn't enjoy, like the music was weird. Eugene, he was acting weird at certain parts. The acting from certain characters, like Jeffrey D. Morgan, Dwight, Eugene, they did a good job, but I felt like some others really didn't, you know? So, I don't know. There's a lot of problems I have with this episode. I could go into it more, but just check out my review if you haven't seen it already. Not the best episode. So, moving in at number 6 is going to be Dead Weight. So, I'm actually going to mention my number 5 also is going to be Live Bait, and I feel like Live Bait is worse, but, you know, these 2 episodes, it's just, I like the Governor. I do like how much of a villain he is, but you don't need 2 episodes. I think 1 episode, maybe slightly extended, would have been fine, you know? And instead, they dragged it out for 2 episodes, I felt like. Especially episode 6. Episode 7 actually wasn't as bad as episode 6. Like, I had some problems with episode 7, but episode 6, it's just... when they're staying in the apartment and, you know, you have the Governor and he's thinking about leaving, then he doesn't, then he thinks, oh, I should leave, no, I'm not gonna leave, no, maybe I'll stay, no, I don't know, and it's just like, really, make up your mind, and it's, I don't know, I don't know, I'm not a fan of this one, so, this one is more my personal opinion, you know, this list, I'm sure you guys can tell. Now, moving in at number 4, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be surprised about this one. But I am going to put number 4, Bloodletting, season 2. So, you know, this is another one where it feels like the story is not moving fast. All we basically get is the introduction of the farm, and Carl is, we don't even know if he's stable. You know, we don't even know if he's stable now. You know, we only find that out in episode 3. Not much action, and if you already read the comics, you know he's going to survive anyway. So, just not the most entertaining episode, and it really, really was not entertaining. So, moving in at number 3 is going to be Still. So, yeah, Still. So, these 3 right here are really not the most entertaining. They're really bad, to be honest. The other ones are not as bad. You know, I could rewatch some others, but these 3 right here, I sometimes skip, you know. And this one is Still. So, instead of looking for the others, trying to see if Rick and Maggie and the others are alive, all they do is basically hang around in the woods, and, you know, Beth doesn't want to find her sister, you know, and she wants to drink. She wants to get a drink. That's it, you know? So, it's just like, I don't know, and they're both mad at each other, and then they grow a bond. It's just, it feels like they didn't know what to do. That's the feeling I was getting when I was watching this. I'm like, where are they going with this? You know, where are they going with this? I don't know. I'm not a fan. So I considered putting it higher, but I'm going to put it here. So, number 2, probably the most shocking one ever. And I know a lot of people are going to be shocked about this one, but my number 2 is going to be the same boat. So, season 6, you guys know, is actually my favorite season. This is the only episode that's going to be in my list. Yes, it's high up on my list. However, the reason why this one's even on my list is because of, you know, we didn't need a whole episode to see this. The only effect it has on the story is that Carol leaves later on, and it gets her to a point where she can't kill. So, aside from that, there's really not too much. You know, and they think they beat the Saviors at the end of this episode. They really didn't. I like that aspect. But, you know, it's just so boring. It's just so boring. When, you know, Maggie and Carol are sitting there for like the whole episode tied up. And, you know, there's Paula, there's Molly. Molly, she's so annoying. And just the acting, it felt so fake, to be honest. And I can't say that for almost any episode of The Walking Dead. But the acting felt fake from those new cast members in this episode. It really did. At least in the role they played in this series, you know. Maybe they're better in another show, but I don't know. But I'm not a fan of it. So, this one is more my personal opinion, definitely for this number 2 spot. But I can't watch this episode. It's just so boring. You know, yeah, not a fan. So, moving in, my least favorite episode of The Walking Dead ever. I think a lot of people could relate to this, maybe, you know, and definitely I want to hear your list. I really would love to see your list down below. But, Slaptown. Yeah, Slaptown. Okay, so I'm going to make a whole video, actually. I'm not sure, but if you guys want to see a video on really why, because there's some big reasons why this episode is my least favorite. So I'm going to leave it here, but this one definitely is my least favorite. It's just... Beth is just not my favorite character in the show. She's never been my favorite character. And, you know, when you have a character you really don't like seeing, you know, and I don't know. She wasn't that bad in her death episode, but aside from that, it's like, I don't know. She just can't carry an episode, I feel like. So, anyway, yeah, so I'm going to move more into it in a video, you know, coming up later where I talk about why is this my least favorite episode, because there is some big reasons I'm sure people could probably understand as well. So, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did a top 10 best episodes of Fear the Walking Dead yesterday. I could do a least best of that show as well, and, you know, some other stuff like that. So, also top 10 best issues I'd like to do. Death predictions, and just tons of other stuff. So, got tons of videos coming up for the, you know, Walking Dead family. So, I can't wait to see what you guys think about this one, and I will catch you guys in the next video.